check, mic check. All right, let's get ready for a fantastic show. Where's my PDF? Oh, there it is. A3. Dear friend, we're live in 2 seconds. All right. And voila. I believe that's the one. Look at that transition. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Betterment Broadcast. I'm your host, Black Raven. This is the 183rd show. That's 183 times we as a community have come together to try to find solutions for Black people. Fantastic. Very good. Yeah. Tell your friend we're live. Let me just get my screen sorted so I can do a fantastic show. Now, let's go through what we normally start the show. If you're new, please bear with us. This is what we normally do. And that is, don't forget to follow the Black Betterment Instagram page. Very important. But also, we're going to talk about the double dilemma. So, Black people can individually be efficient, but are collectively inadequate, unfortunately. And Black people may know a friendly non-Black person. However, collectively, Black people have no friends. Right? That's a double dilemma. So the problem is a double dilemma, but the solution to that problem, my friends, is Black Betterment. What is Black Betterment? Black people helping Black people on Black issues for betterment. Black Betterment is a lifestyle. That's right. That's right. So what we tend to focus on this show is the triple triumphs, right? And what are they? Let's get that one. That is Black families, Black economics, and Black health. So most videos, or if not all videos, will be connected to that. And what I'm going to make it a habit of shouting that out every time we show a video. See how it might be connected to these three important things. Let's type this Black Betterment thing here. Give me 5 seconds. Betterment. There we go. Yeah, broadcast. Yeah, so Black families, Black economics, and Black health. So don't forget that. We'll go through that. Okay, now we're going to we'll throw the link out, and I'm just putting the link up now. But when you jump in, let me mute that. When we jump in, don't forget to practice the 4D values. Very important. And that is discipline, dedication, dignity, and discernment. Why can't I see this, man? Hurry up. This thing's rubbish, man. Yeah, and discernment. So don't forget that. So when you jump in on the link, which I can't seem to share at the moment because the screen has been a bit silly. Let me refresh it again, see if that fixes it. Hopefully that will. Got it? Probably not. Whatever. Cool. And also, if we cannot use any kind of like derogatory terms towards each other or in general, a pin message. It's been pinned. Yeah, that'll be very helpful. So please don't forget that. All right, now we're going to come to today's topics. Two very important topics for the family. UK Black woman hate. What is that? We discussed the racist comments towards Diane Abbott and arts who should protect Black women in UK politics. I'll do that 1 second. And men reform men and women reform women. We discussed trauma controlling tactics to reform the Black community. So we talk about the techniques we have of Black men talking to Black men, as you see us to be doing, and also Black women talking to Black women. This is a strategy we do to minimize anxiety. What tends to happen now, you tend to have, gender wars amongst Black people. So we try to find ways to mitigate that. And one way is have men lead in reforming men and women lead in reforming women. Good technique there. We can unbreak that. See some videos. We might start that one because it's relatively quick. I saw a video. Excuse the bad language that comes up. I'm sure there's plenty of it. The shows. Oops, daisy. I've lost it. Where is it? Show one. Let's see what videos we have that we can play today just to start the show. Black love, black love, black love. Okay, Dan Albert. Hip hop. Is that hip hop? That's a good one. But let's see. Before we start, let me just go through the random videos that I came across that we can talk about. So what we tend to do is there's videos on theme and there's videos that's random. So we'll play some random ones. Let's see, colorism by let's see this one. This is quite a good one.
Grandmother compared me to.
I came across this was one of the members of Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland, and she talked about colorism when she was growing up. Let's have a listen.
To the color of a paper bag, and said that I was too dark chocolate for him, and he couldn't date me. And I said, what the hell? I literally was like, what does that mean? And I came home and I talked to my mama T about it. And she said, that's a definition of colorism. And I was like, what is, you know what I mean? It was like that moment.
Okay.
It affected me in a way where I was just always uncertain of how I looked. It started to define what beauty was to me.
Okay.
In the entertainment business, it manifested itself in constant comparisons. When it came to like my skin color, I was hearing everything left and right. Well, you know, she's darker, or she's the darkest one in the group, or she's a really chocolate one. I would always hear.
Was there ever a time where you thought, maybe I should try a bleaching cream?
I never actually thought to myself, I want to do a bleaching cream, as much as it was, I just want to be Mariah Shade. Because that was who I was looking up to.
Gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You're dancing around in fields with I was like, life looks beautiful.
Okay, so that's Kelly Rowland saying that colorism made her have self-esteem issues, and she wanted to be lighter. So obviously this is one of the issues we try to fix in the Black community, of course, colorism. Also, how things was told to her, they were told from a wicked standpoint, a self-hating standpoint, I should say. But what we want to make sure is we never repeat certain certain ideas when we're doing our stuff. So obviously we promote black love, black men loving black women. We have to make sure the way we talk to them, they cannot use it as a method to undermine others or anything like that. So always let people know we promote black love because it's a holistic help, it's economic uplift. It shows community unity and all that good stuff. So it should never be used as a way to kick down anyone. But yeah, anyway, the next one there, very important topic we're talking about. That's right, protect that. Yep, Diane Abbott. We're going to that. That's the last topic we'll tackle today. Very important topic. We'll have people jump in to give their opinion. We've got quite a lot of videos on that. Well, so we're going through like the news before we go on. Well, what else did I come across? Came across this for those that know. This was interesting. I found
Charles.
Before Johnny Cochran passed away, he vowed to fight reparations. That was some shows.
Ogletree and Randall Robinson and some really, really great lawyers. We're gonna try to fashion a strategy to sue for slavery reparations in this country. Bring a lawsuit. It's not the most popular thing everywhere, but that's not the test. The test is slavery was wrong. The government sanctioned and benefited from it. You can't have 200 or 300 years of free labor built to help build the country. When you go to Washington, you look at those monuments like the Washington Monument, built by slaves. Nobody ever got any compensation for that. You got to look at it realistically, I think. So I think these are new challenges we have to face.
Very important, brother, there. We should definitely honor that, brother, there. Very important, brother. Very, very. We might have to do a show on him. Very, very important, brother. That's very good. All right, what else we got? What else we got in the news? The new news, I should say. Oh, very interesting fact here. Let's have a sneak peek at this.
White Russians fled to Sri Lanka for refuge, a country known for a darker-skinned population, and had the nerve to throw an all-white people party. Sri Lanka responded by immediately ending their free long-term visas for both Russian and Ukrainians. Basically, according to Reuters, NBC News, and other outlets, Sri Lankan government officials say the country has decided to stop issuing free long-term visas to Russian and Ukrainian nationals who've lived in the country for the past 2 years. It follows outrage over a whites-only event advertised at a Russian-run nightclub on the island. A poster for the event had a line saying, "Face control, white," which many people took to mean that non-white people would be refused entry. Now, although the Russian embassy has said that Russia strongly condemns all forms of racial discrimination and nationalism, the damage may already be done, because Sri Lanka's public security minister told Reuters that any affected people wishing to remain in Sri Lanka would have to pay around $50 for a 30-day visa. People around the world are reacting online. This person wrote, "How you flee a war and then try to set up an apartheid in the country you're seeking refuge in." But what do you think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow This Explained.
Very important. There are people from Ukraine and Russia who didn't know that they're at war currently. They're killing each other, which is never nice. But members from both countries have fled to Sri Lanka and England and other places. And but when they go to those countries, they don't want to socialize or be next to any of the non-white population, and they create events to make sure it's just for them. This happened in the UK with housing. They didn't want to live with Black and Asian people, and obviously they went to Asia and didn't want to be around dark-skinned Asian people. So the reason why we show this is because it's showing you that how non-Black people, but more so European people, regardless of where they're from, regardless of what wars are going on, they seem to have this hierarchy in their heads, and this is something you have to be aware of. We don't have that hierarchy in our heads. That's why we need Black Betterment to fix Black issues, because we're very, very giving, and we rather fix others before we fix ourselves. But as you see others discriminate, and they have no intention of doing anything with you. So this stuff to remember. Just part of the education process. That's what we're doing. All right, what else we got? Reparations, James Baldwin. That's the what's that one? Colorism, Black hate. Let's talk about this. Is a Somali brother. So we pick up the Somali community. We always tell them, good African brothers, but sometimes some Somali brothers don't like to be referred to as black and this kind of stuff. And we let them know that the classifications happened long before you knew about them. And all around the world, you might need to be aware of this classification, because you might come in problems if you walk around the world and don't understand about the black classification. So let's have a look at this brother, a Somali brother in India, apparently.
Very nice. Oh. Really, really good. Somalia.
Oh, very dangerous country.
Not so much. Not so much.
Just Hawa. Nothing.
This is
I hear that Somalia is very dangerous.
not really.
Water thieves. Real pirates of Caribbean in Somalia.
It's not too bad. Not anymore. Not anymore. Because all the boats, they sort of stopped coming through the waters.
Now the government is strict.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, you could say that. It's much better.
Much better.
I don't know what you're saying.
Juma, black.
I don't understand.
Worms, like worms, small worms.
Worms in my hair.
Yeah, there is not worms in your hair.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, just relax.
So there's part two. Where's part two of that? So the Somali brothers in India trying to eat his food, make his blog, and they're coming and saying his country's full of pirates, and they offer restaurant the Caribbean as well. And then he's got worms in his hair. I don't know if that's the hair or whatever they said. Where's in part two? And then they've sat with him and then attempt to relax.
I like you look good in this.
You go inside the washroom and changi tarah bathing.
No, wait. My brother is also having curly hairs.
Can I enjoy my
In
meal?
Somalia,
Yeah, why not?
Yes. You're Negro?
I'm a what?
Negro means Negro peoples in the African, we call them Negro peoples.
I'll give you one advice.
Yes.
Jinga la la hoo.
If you ever say,
There you go. So this is Somali brother in India, just walking through and interacting with some of the locals. Not very good. So I think they told him to go wash himself or something in the bathroom, something like that. Go wash your hair or something. Yeah, not nice. What's this Black Hate Report? This is a sister who's doing a report. He's quite old, but a few years old. But I just came across on I thought I'd play it. This is her trying to do the news.
Hold on. What the fuck you on off?
English language.
I'm not on yet.
Okay, thank you. We don't want to.
Yeah, we're not on.
Nice.
20 seconds.
I think a European tries to get her attention.
Thank you.
Beautiful as hell.
Thank you.
God damn. I better not be on motherfucking camera. But why you over here on camera though?
Watch Spectrum News. You can find out. Go find a TV and watch Spectrum News. You can find out.
For what reason?
Watch the news and you can find out.
This channel 8.
This is channel 9 and 1 usually. 1 and 9.
See, that's why I can't be left alone with a black woman. or a mulatto chick. Because I can't stand these fucking white
We are
girls.
done here.
Please forgive us.
Have a great rest of your day.
You are sexy as fuck. I don't know how you can sit there. Sexy.
Excuse the language, family. This was a sister being vocally abused by a European, referred to as a black woman, as a mulatto as well. And then, whatever. Maybe, who knows? I can't even try to, she's not best pleased, and no one would be. But it's showing you some of the how people perceive people and how they act. Also, then quickly, we're going to start our topics in maybe 3 minutes. But that bleeds into the whole, we're tackling colors very quickly. What was, I think I had, what was that one? Media, mixed love. Is it this one? Yeah, so this this is important. Where are we? Showcase it. Yeah. So I saw this as well on my feed. I think I've been banned because I made a comment of something about black love or whatever. But as in, when people told us that our daughter would get all our dark features,
I get sprayed. I get sprayed. I get crazy.
It's a picture of a black sister with a European gentleman, and I think there's fascination that the offspring is, at least from the youth standpoint, has predominantly European features, and this is like a thing. I don't know. Yeah, and I think she started the thing by saying, when people told us that our daughter would get all of my dark features. Don't know if that's a flex or that's saying, but yeah, I did leave a comment, and I think I got banned for a couple of days as usual. But yeah, this racial showcasing is never a good idea. But this is what people are doing, it seems. Okay. And what else? And there was something else that connected to that as well. Yeah, black love. No. Oh, this gentleman, Asian person, not that.
Black man, black woman, and powerful media. Powerful media has changed our screens. Either you see on TV, on your smartphone, you always see that black man with white woman. While they totally neglected black women, they give them very minor role and totally neglected role. And they are destroying the foundation and the family system of black community. Black community has realized it that the powerful media, for name of racism and equality, the only way they think that is showing the black man with white woman, it will satisfy, it will solve all the problems. This is not the way moving forward. Black community has to stand up to that, and they need to make their name in education, politics, innovation, and technology. And the only way moving forward is unity between a black man and a black woman and a strong family unit. At the end, I would say that if I said something you didn't like, apologize.
I'm not sure who this gentleman is or why he's saying this kind of stuff, but either way, he's right on. But I don't know his motivation for doing it. But it is correct. Not that we'll use him as any kind of template, but it was interesting that there's people in the Asian community saying this. One more thing. I saw this woman as well, a biracial sister.
Tired of getting this.
And the reason I'm showing this is because it's more so. Last week we spoke about how to minimize anxiety amongst the members, especially when it comes to mixed unions. And this woman, she was giving her testimony about something.
Same comment over and over about how I ruined my bloodline by having a baby with a white man. First of all, excuse how I look because I've been cleaning, but I just want to start by saying, y'all are weird as fuck. Like, who even says that? First of all, I don't know what y'all think I'm going to have some pure bloodline or something when I'm already mixed with black and white. And it's so weird to me how everyone goes around and saying how if a white girl gets with a black guy, it's because she's fetishizing having mixed kids or something. Y'all are doing the same thing. Y'all are fetishizing having all black babies. Like, what's the problem with being mixed with?
So it's a very, very problematic way to word things, fetishizing about having all black babies. This is we have to control this narrative. This is not a good narrative.
A little something. Like, I'm so sorry that I didn't go and pick my father's children based off the race of his skin. Like, I went and got with somebody that I love and wanted to have kids with. I went looking at him like, he's white, he's gonna mess up my black bloodline, and my babies need to be pure black. No, I wasn't thinking like that because that's weird. Now listen, don't get me wrong. If you want to keep your black bloodline pure, then that's completely on you. But I had babies with somebody because I love them, not because I want my kids' skin color to come out a certain way. Because I think they're perfect how they are, and whatever color they would have came out, dark skin, light skin, white skin, I don't give a fuck. They're perfect, so obviously me having a baby with a white person was meant to happen, because my beautiful, perfect babies were meant to be on this earth.
There you go. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, when you talk to people, if you talk at all, you want to control the narrative. You don't, because if you let anyone just go off, they'll demonize the concept of black love. And the reason they can demonize is because if you use terms like, end the bloodline, pure blood, all this kind of stuff, you're painting pictures of like a past eugenics, whatever it is, concept there, right? So remember, black love is an important thing. It's how you have a community. And you're saying, we brought back love because, we were trying to build economics, build a community, strong fathers at home, this kind of good stuff, right? And also, you also want to remind people of the strategies of Ham's Redemption to destroy black people. Say that we don't agree with these concepts, as well as this is how I would recommend you word things, so you don't allow people to make these videos where they become the victims because black people are saying certain things. Also, a question rather than one of the questions I usually get banned is, what does your partner think reparations? That usually gets banned, and that usually changes the tone. So remember, whenever we're talking about these things, just be constructive and kind, and not trying to paint pictures of division or anything like that. Everything has to be tactics. It cannot be trauma. So just think about that, right? Because you can't have black betterment or pro-black concepts being seen as negative. It's the most positive thing a person can think of. So now we're going to move into today's topic. So we're going to start with the second first, because the Diane Abbott one's a big one. So the second, so let's go to the thing for TCP. So topic number one. Where is it? Men reform men and women reform women. So let's just have a sneak peek at video. Once again, there's a lot of late night language and colorless language that you might hear, because obviously when you're on the streets, but this is case study time, so these things happen. So where's that thing gone? Right, there we go. So this is the sisters in the States.
So do you think that when
there's women that are shaking themselves in front of the cat, this woman was,
you shake ass in the camera and stuff, like men are gonna look at this and be like, that's a girl who I want to make my wife?
I don't give a fuck. I don't want these. Let me tell you something, baby. I was raised by my father. Fuck you niggas. I'll date one of you niggas and I keep two in the chamber.
So
at all times. Fuck you niggas. I don't give a fuck. Talking about wife.
Do you not want to be a wife one day, though? Do you not want to be a wife one day, though?
When I'm old and you shake ass, I need to know your connotation as wife. Yeah. Because I'm a lot of niggas' wife. Okay. But I'm a lot of niggas' type.
Do you have a ring?
I got a few. I got plenty of rings. Bitch, I forgot to put my other ring on. I might stop. Let me put the light on that shit.
But has a man ever...
Let's put the ice on that shit, yeah.
Right, yeah, so forgive the language. Once again, you want sisters to more so intervene when women might be going wayward. It might be, making a scene for themselves as doing things that's not in their collective best interest. More so have women try to, take sisters' side and give them direction. Because these kind of videos is what the manosphere and these kind of people use to justify, not being with women or black women. So this is why, just like we're going to reform men who do unsynchronized things, you want to help the sisters who might be error prone. So that is, I think that's the only video I've got. That one. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, never a good thing. So now, that's just a quick one. We can, if you want to jump in, then we can expand that even more or talk about some of the new news that we covered earlier. What's this on comedy, guys? Oh, but before we move on, we have a very good thing. This brother here, this is very good news. Is it this one? This brother here, he's a brother who made quite a bit of money doing what you call it, doing funny videos on the YouTube and TikTok, this kind of stuff. But anyway, he was with an Italian woman when he got his millions. But I don't think they're together anymore. And he's found, I think she's from Senegal or Ghana or somewhere like this. He's found a sister who's somewhere from that part.
No, right here. Yes.
So we have to always acknowledge that when a brother becomes a millionaire and he dates a woman within the group community, it's always important, because he was about to marry a potential colonizer descendant. Maybe more of an invader, I think. I think Italy was more of an invader Ethiopian woman. But either way, I'm sure she was a nice woman, and all this kind of stuff. Either way, but just because we always have to be tactical, so we want to be, well done to that brother for finding a sister who he could share his wealth with. Thank you, brother. Make sure he keeps her and doesn't replace her with another person. Excellent. Now let's go on to the topic at hand, the most important one. So which one? Let's start with the news first, which I should have blackified, did I? Where is that? It's that one, I mean. Yes, 17 megabytes. No. Is that one? Hold on. That's compressed really well, isn't it?
Said she got into politics to be the voice to the voiceless, to promote racial justice as Britain's first black female MP. Today, attacked because of just that. Comments have emerged from the biggest Tory donor, Frank Hester, reportedly telling colleagues Diane Abbott made him want to hate all black women and that the former Labour MP should be shot. He has since accepted he was rude about the MP and said he had tried to ring her twice to apologise directly. This evening, the Prime Minister called those comments racist and wrong.
Is it right to keep Frank Hester million, sir?
But earlier, all government ministers sent out for interviews repeatedly refused to use that term.
I don't think what he was saying was a gender-based or a race-based comment, but it was clearly inappropriate.
They're truly
not race-based or gender-based. Interesting.
Awful remarks, aren't they? So there's nothing I can say apart from to condemn them and say that he's absolutely right to apologise.
Some ignored the question altogether.
Frank Hester, following his comments about Diane Abbott. Thank you.
I didn't see how you could argue they're not racist.
Senior black Tory MPs were the first to call out the remarks, hours before Rishi Sunak's intervention. Kwasi Kwarteng and Kemi Badenoch said the comments, as reported, were racist.
Think about your own party not calling them racist if you believe they're racist.
Well, look, the first thing I've said repeatedly, that we don't know what he said.
What about the money? Do you think we should...
again, we're running ahead of ourselves. But I think if someone says that makes me hate black women, I don't see how those remarks aren't sexist or racist. I don't understand that.
Diane Abbott has now reported the incident. The Met Police say they are assessing the matter. She's also said in a statement, "It is frightening. I live in Hackney and do not drive, so I find myself at weekends popping on a bus or even walking places more than most MPs. I am a single woman and that makes me vulnerable anyway. I'm currently not a member of the Parliamentary Labour Party, but remain a member of the Labour Party itself, so I'm hoping for public support from Keir Starmer." Now, Diane Abbott isn't a Labour MP because she herself is under investigation over alleged anti-Semitic comments and has lost the Labour whip as a result, pending an investigation. Now, that investigation is over a year long and waiting to conclude, but the Labour Party and Keir Starmer have reached out to her.
So she's not in Labour because of allegedly anti-Semitic comments, and the donor who said these comments towards her, it's not racist at all. No, this is a very interesting dynamic here. Very interesting.
Today personally to offer her support, and that's because MP safety is a live issue here. More MPs are feeling unsafe than ever before.
It's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
And what some of them say is that the words politicians use really matter, and no one should be playing politics with racism.
There's also a threat as well. Then he mentioned a gun. I mean, that's something you can't really buy as well.
With the most senior female black minister calling the reported comments racist before the Prime Minister today, it's a reminder not only of Tory divisions, but questions too over Rishi Sunak's political judgment.
Good. So that's not your feeling. We've got some more videos on the Diane. Let's see what they are. So, I think, what's this one? Yeah, obviously, naturally, what tends to happen is, let's try.
Black women
They would some of these TV shows, they send out black people as like proxies to defend. So this is part of the tactic as well. Have black people defend racism and say it's not racism. Let's see what's happening.
Like her, I would be embarrassed, frankly. So we're all. If all black women were like her, I would be embarrassed, frankly. So we're all different. I think where he's gone wrong is conflating behaviour with colour of skin, so people can deem that as racist. But to me personally, I wasn't offended because I just think Diane Abbott is a mess.
But that shouldn't come into it. Why is listing Diane Abbott's shortcomings relevant to this conversation? Let's take all that out of it and look at the comment in isolation. Look at the comment in isolation. It shouldn't be up for debate whether it's racist. It is so obvious. You are the only person in the whole country, I think, today. You must not have ears today to not be able to see this clear racism.
So you think that? I didn't say that. I didn't say that, and you're not listening. I think you just listened and hear what you want to hear. I said that when you conflate the colour of skin with someone's behaviour, then that can be seen as racist. So I totally get that people will see that, but he doesn't see it that way because he's talking about her behaviour.
But the fact that he doesn't see it that way, it makes it even more troubling.
There's a lot of
that he could say, "Oh, I didn't realise it was racist." It was victim blaming for her being both black and
one at a time, and then we'll bring Jonathan in eventually.
Take Black Lives Matter. I've got a very, very good friend of mine who said, and she's been the best friend of mine, she's taken care of me whenever I've needed it. She said that you can see why people would start to hate black people because of the behaviour of Black Lives Matter and because of what went on that. And I got what she was saying. She wasn't trying to be racist and said...
Okay, but she wasn't trying, but she is being racist.
You don't even know what I'm going to say. She was not saying that she hates all black people. She was saying that that behaviour, if it is representative of many black people, then that could be something that could make people dislike them. And I, as a black woman, know that if I do something, I could be seen as representative of black people. So I'm well aware that I have to look into how I behave.
So this sister is well aware that how she behaves might reflect badly on black people, but yet she's in the show. Once again, control the position. I think there was a brother who jumped on who tried to maybe have words with her. Let's see if I've got that one. Let's say this one.
Africa to be deported. Free speech, supposedly. I was born in this country, but your viewers often tell me I should be deported. And I'm speaking directly to you, Nana, now, not to GB News and not to Patrick. But no matter how many wigs you wear, no matter how many times you throw your fellow black women under the bus, as you did on the show the other day, you will never, just like myself, be more than a talking monkey.
I don't know any of these women. I don't represent any community of people. I represent Nana, a queer. I'll be judged by the content of my character, not the colour of my skin, and definitely not by you. And as for being called names, I get called loads of names. Let me finish because you've spent time talking and I've listened.
Happily see you deported as they would see me deported, Nana. That's the truth.
Who are they?
No matter how much you dance for them.
Who are they? Who are
the racists who abuse me online every time I appear on this show.
So let's see if we've got any more videos. Let's see what else we've got. What's this one? The sisters are talking about. See what they say.
So much love and so much light to Diane Abbott.
Yeah.
Racism in the UK is so overt. No, covert.
Yeah, covert.
Not overt. No,
that was overt.
Actually, no. It is overt. But it's like, it's one of them things where if you call it out, they'll be like, no, but it's not actually racism. I just don't like you.
They don't like calling racism. Racism. They call it every other word under the sun but racism.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I just don't like her, or she's just, it's nothing against that. She's just a woman, or like, it's always something.
Why are we now coming on TV shows, news shows, and having debates on whether what he said is racist or not? Are you out of your mind?
And who are you also, as people who are not black, to debate it?
There you go. Like I said, black people, this is what you have to get used to, unfortunately. This is what it is. Black Betterment is the only solution. This brother here is spreading some. I think there's
Today we stand for Diane, and I think it's important. We get the numbers need to be there. We can't be looking like idiots, because look, organised black women of Hackney. Okay, all the Hackney man them should be there. I hope the Prince of the City's there, and I hope Hackney Wick owners there. I hope all these people that say they represent Hackney, all the Mash Time people, all Marks, and all these people that represent Hackney, if you're not there standing for your black women, or all these young gangs that say they represent Hackney, if you're not there standing for the women of the community that's in power, because when Chris Cobber got shot, Diane Abbott was there. She came out. Whether you like her or not, she came out. So if that was you that got licked down by the police, Diane would have been there, consulting your parents, helping them out. Just take that into your mind. Not your local rapper wouldn't have been there, but Diane would have been there. So whether you like her or not, there's going to be a lot of things you don't like about people. There might be a lot of things you don't like about me. But it's not about me, and it's not about you. It's about the future of black people in politics. It's about the future of our black women. It's about the future of the black community. Because there's only so many times you can back a dog into the corner until the dog bites, right? How much times are they backing us into the corner?
There you go. We got the brother there. I don't know if there's some rally. Was it sometime? Is it Friday or this Friday? I don't know because I didn't see a date, and I miss a lot. Big up brother Stanley. Big up Sister She Reigns. Big up Empress Kush. Big up Kunga. Big up Melanie Goddess. There you go. Big up brother Dominic. Very important contributor to the show. And yeah, obviously brother Stanley is obviously doing what he has to do normally. There you go. Yeah, so family, let us know your views on that. What are your views on the whole Diane Abbott scenario, the racism? What was the quote again? Did I get rid of it?
Said she got into politics to be the voice to the voiceless, to promote racial justice as Britain's first black female MP. Today, attacked because of just that. Comments have emerged from the biggest Tory donor, Frank Hester, reportedly telling colleagues Diane Abbott made him want to hate all black women and that the former Labour MP should be shot. He has since accepted.
Does people know why he said that? Was it what made, apart from just being obviously racist, was it motivated by something? Was there a policy, or was there a people group he was trying to defend, or something? Just be interested to know the context of what make a millionaire donor want to murder a black woman and blame all black women for something she allegedly has or hasn't done. Will we know what they seem to so bad that they would speak this way, and to whom he was talking for it to come out. He must have been talking quite openly for it to come out. Now, obviously, as you know, if you look at some of the prime minister and president phone calls, they have it from the past after they lose their presidency. You have a whole lot of racist stuff coming out, and amongst. As I'm telling you, behind closed doors, many people are gonna have disdain for black people. So how it came out, I don't know. But yeah, this is the thing. So the question we're asking today is UK black women hate. We discussed the racist comments towards Diane Abbott and asked who should protect black women in the UK politics. I see the brother there was jumping on saying the men should rally out. Definitely, as men, we want to show some definitely women support. That's one thing that we want to get underway to make sure that black women always feel that no matter what happens, the men in their group have their back, and we're in the front line of protecting them from these kind of behavior patterns. And also, we recommend that black women talk to black women who might go off code and start going on panels and trying to defend anti-black racists for payment. This is something is the thing. But yeah, so feel free to jump in. This is your show, your time. Those who are new, you're always happy to jump in. Always, if you like. It's this show is for the Black Bearman. We are promoting the lifestyle Black Bearman here. Today's topic is UK black women hate and men reform. Men reform men, and women reform women. So brother Stanley seems to be causing controversy. So feel free to jump in, Stanley, and we can show the people how we can try to reform men. Last week, brother Stanley jumped on and he wasn't best pleased with the Black Life concept. So he kind of became just controlled by Trump. And we tried to let him know he was loved, but we can't change the templates. But that's what we want to do as men. We come together to try to school men on how to, be more constructive and align with black betterment. And that's what we're here. That's what we promote. Definitely, that's what we're about in this show here. And if you're new and you're passing by, jump in, give us your pin. Obviously, when I go on the internet, I put out a whole lot of links and promotions to the show, and there might be random topics that we discuss. And I'm more than happy for you to jump in and discuss those topics that we might have discussed on a kind of live or something like that. This is the place for it. We are very constructive here. We always try to find solutions. Also, if you found me on, that's another thing I was going to say, Clubhouse as well. So Clubhouse, I've just recently gone back on. I need to sort my phone out because the reception is absolutely terrible. I'm going to have to jump providers. It's like, it's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. But I think we maybe might get more of a presence on Clubhouse. What I was trying to tell the brothers and sisters in Clubhouse as well is when black people are talking, you tend to get a tremendous amount of trauma. So I'm saying that maybe you should have days where you dedicate one day for trauma and one day for like tactical talking. this might be an idea. Big up, brother Razor. Welcome to the Black Betterment Broadcast. How's it going?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now, brother Razor. Welcome back.
What's going on, man? You right?
Not too bad, not too bad. Thanks for joining us, Black Betterment, to you. Do you have any opinions or any views on one of the topics, either racism towards Diane Abbott or men reforming men and women reforming women?
I think the Diane Abbott thing, regardless of how you might think of Diane Abbott, especially if you're on a basic level up to politics, it's wrong regardless. I mean, there's 10 million reasons why. I'm just trying to be cheeky. But in any case, I always look at career politicians as being in the game for a long time. And I'm like, I don't think like racism towards black politicians or people who work even in the public sector is nothing new. So it's just now that we have, you know what I mean? Like now that we have like Diane Abbott at the forefront of a so-called racist, but like some of the stuff that she's been saying, I don't really disagree with as far as like a riposte, because she just sounds like most black people that I know. However, I'm kind of like, okay, constituents wise, these politicians, believe it or not, even like Harriet Harman, because I'm from Southwark, right? You have to see her in order for her to service you. It doesn't mean that she's going to promote that she does anything in particular, because I guess like in the UK we understand like a lot of black politicians, and even they don't have a particular standpoint to stand for, but it doesn't mean that they don't do work in the community. I'll just say that just to be, you know where I'm coming from, Razor. I mean, about Raven, like you must understand where I'm coming from. Like, like the local surgeries that most politicians have. To be honest, some of them actually do work. And I know this based on what I know, but on the whole, most people, I guess, a lot of people look at Diane Abbott as just another politician.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think what happened to her was right. It was quite bad.
Yeah, well, I think there's welcome Cloudy to the Black Betterment Broadcast. Black Betterment to yourself. Well, they've gone a bit cloudy. They've gone. Yeah, so here's what it is. I think there's two ways to look at things, right? So one, there's black people in general, whether they're politicians, police, or lawyers, or fire brigade, or whatever, and they might do things we disagree with, but once people are attacking them because of their racial features or their racial lineage, then I guess it's on the burden of all people to it's going to be to defend that. Hold on, there you go. Is that me? Is that? I don't know what's coming from. Yeah, to defend that. So that's one thing. So regardless of their politics or their politicking, the fact is they're being attacked for their phenotype or for their ancestry. So we have a duty to make sure that that's defended. That's one thing. And then also there's some realities of like, sometimes we focus on what we dislike rather than focus on what we do like. And for people who's been in politics with as long as she has, I'm sure there's a list of things that some people are best pleased with, as well as things that people are not best pleased with. And there's also, the challenges of being a black person in the politics. I think I saw this video. I think she was trying to. Let me see. Hold on. This one. Nope. This one. Nope. That one. Nope. This one. No. This one. All right. Yeah, I think they showed a video of her being ignored or something.
Mr. Speaker, despite serious opposition from the Archbishop of Canterbury, 3 former Home Secretaries...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Armed Forces...
No, Mr. Speaker, the Labour Party will not be sticking to its completely...
It shamefully took him more than 24 hours to finally say the remarks by the Tories' biggest donor that looking at the Right Honourable Member for Hackney North and Stoke Newington makes you want to hate all black women were indeed racist.
Yeah.
In November, the Prime Minister accepted a non-cash donation.
I think they were showing that she was being ignored or something like this. you guys will know what politics and mean in this kind of regards, the Houses of Commons and the Houses of Lords and stuff. Yeah, all right. So let me go back on that. Yeah, so this is, I think with us, well, myself, I can say it's never really shocking that any kind of racist towards any black person in the UK. Once again, rather than get angry, we use it as one of the many case studies to heighten and practice black betterment. It is the only true solution to anti-black racism. But yeah,
this is where the idea of like staying on code really, really does matter, because again, regardless of what you might think of someone like Diane Abbott, or even what's his name, David Lammy, and the rest of them fucking people, excuse my language, the rest of them people, it's kind of like you have to understand what it means to stay on code, because I won't allow someone to have unnecessary racism thrown at them just like that. For what reason? Like Diane Abbott, to be honest, she keeps herself to herself, especially over the last maybe 5 or 6 years. The Labour government right now that's going to come in, and they are useless bunch of whatless people. They're not going to do anything to change the status quo. We know this. Like, look at Keir Starmer. He's nothing. And for this guy who has £10 million invested in Tory party and so on and so forth, like I'm more shocked at people who were shocked that there are people like this out here. I'm like, well, yeah.
Give Frank welcome, Black Bearman, to Empress Kush. Welcome to Black Bearman Broadcast.
You know what I mean? Like, guys like this exist. What I mean, I'm not fooling myself. So yeah.
Right. Well, sorry, Frank, we've got a guest at the moment. Welcome, Empress Kush. Welcome to Black Bearman Broadcast.
Black Bearman.
Black Bearman. So, sister, your views on obviously the racist.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening. Go ahead, Brother Ivan.
Yeah, do you have any news or information or any angle on?
I think that you're right to say that this just heightens in regards to Black Betterment. I do think it's a big disrespect to what is happening with her. So I do think that anger channeled in the right way can have some positive results. And this is definitely something that's justified in being angry at, because if we don't do it as a community, no one's going to do it. And I don't know if anyone heard questions. I mean, even the image of her getting up over 40 times in the comments while they were talking about the racist case and not letting her speak on it while they're just speaking about her, and she's sitting there and she's not allowed to speak.
Yeah.
She's like close to 70 or 70 years old. Yeah. And she's getting up over 40 times to speak, and she's served in government for over like 40 years. The first ever female black MP, the first, and this is how she gets treated for all to see. And you expect us to believe there's no racism or there's no institutional racism. I think if anything, it's proved that there is. The fact that the two parties are arguing between and giving evidence between which one's more racist. To me, I just sit down and I just laugh at it, because all you're doing is providing evidence that this side is a racist, and I know that via this side giving me the evidence, and the same with the other side, which proves that all that proves is that the whole thing, the government, the setup, the whole thing is institutionally racist. And the image of a 70-year-old woman who's been told to get that she makes him a man, a donor, hate all black women, and that she should be shot, and then she has to get up over 46 times and she doesn't get picked.
This is clearly something's going on. And the thing is, they've said she's been suspended for alleged anti-Semitic comments or something like that. So
yeah, the comments was, I mean, I'd look it up. I'm gonna look it up, because I was gonna say I'd definitely ask the family to look at the comments. These terrible comments that she's been suspended for over, I think, 8 months for now, and it was because bearing in mind when this first happened and this first came out, I think this is what, maybe the third day, the second day. I think the first day this come out, no parties were willing to say that it was racist. Right, so this coming out from the Conservative side, you'd think that even the Labour side would say something. There, what's the guy, the new guy? I'm sure people know. I'm sorry, someone saying in the comments. He didn't even say this would be a great bat to hit the other side with, but they have consensus when it comes to calling someone racist within their own group, so they wouldn't do it. And so it took this like growing. I felt like there was this growing tide where, you know, it could have been a bit limbo, it could have been swept under the rug, but I think it has grown a bit of legs. The fact that it's been mentioned in Commons. Oh, there was a great question time as well. I don't know if anyone saw that. I think that happened yesterday night. And it's very telling. It's very telling. And I think, you know, I just think it's yeah. Initially I was just trying to look at it without feelings. I wasn't surprised, but I'm not gonna lie to say that it wasn't offensive. And more so, I knew what it was, and most of us with sense know what it was as soon as we saw it. But it was about how the rest of them was going to deal with it, or who was going to step up and talk about it. And honestly, it was just crickets for a good while, until the pressure started mounting. Because you can't, the thing, even though people are doing it, when you say that this makes me hate all black women and she should be shot, this is not very covert. It's not very British, is it? This is a very overt statement. And wild as it is, there was this notion of whether it was racist or not. The individual was racist. Still, there was a debate about it.
Yeah.
Having that debate is racist anyways, but do you know what I mean? It's the constant gaslighting that plays out continuously as a black woman. And I feel when black women talk about their struggles and their plight, people kind of just want black women to shut up and stop moaning. So I think in this way, this opens it up for everyone to see. This is a snapshot. This is something that got said to her a few years ago. So this is just a snapshot. There was a poll they did of MPs' abuse. And it was, you know, the abuse was terrible. But if you look at that poll, we're talking about MPs, right? And then what they did is they broke it down. And Diane Abbott on her own had the majority. On her own. Yeah. One individual black female MP. This is the abuse that gets on the regular. This woman is 70. I don't think she has a partner. She's our elder. She is getting told on big public platform, our first black female MP, that she should be shot. So I feel a bit of anger channeled in the right way can make a big difference. I think if black people, and I mean that as a community now, if we just brush this over, we're looking very weak. So I agree in the message that man said. I think it was great that it was a black man saying it in the one that you saw. And I do want to say that as well. I do want to say that what I have seen of black men who have stood up to it is good to see. I will say that the consensus of black men is just instant racism. It isn't, oh, it's a female thing or a black female thing. It was like you know, the consensus is kind of like, yeah, no, that's racist. And we have a problem with that as the black community. And the black brother on there was right. If we let that lay, a 70-year-old woman, tough black community, then we're just, anything is okay. Anything is fair game now. So yeah.
I think,
I mean, I didn't even realize she was 70 years old.
Yeah, 71. I think one thing we have to do is
she looks the same like she did 20 years ago.
Exactly. We don't crack, and she doesn't show any kind of. But this is a part of having to be that kind of, and this is what I'm saying though, bro. I totally get what you're saying on that. She's 70. I think I'm pretty certain she's single on her own. And like she said, she walks up and she is. She walks up and down Hackney constantly, you know. She's definitely for the people. When he said that she stepped out for Kaba Sabah, She also stepped out for Child Q. You could talk about her faults and whatever you think, but she believes in what she's doing, and she's doing it for the heart of the community. That we 40 years in Parliament, the first black woman MP, the most amount of abuses, all abuse of MPs across the country, and she gets the most. Like, we need to put a bit of respect on her name.
And you know what? Can I say something really quickly? Like really quickly. There's a situation. I don't know, because I know you're half Dominican, but I don't know if you understand Creole culture in regards to death. You kind of celebrate death, and you celebrate those that kind of came before you. And it's kind of weird, because I've always felt a particular way about politicians, especially those of POC in this country. And to be honest, from my own personal knowledge, a lot of them actually do work, believe it or not. To hear the sister speak about Diane Abbott like that, honestly, I would never know until I heard something from today. Seriously. And you have to. I just think when you're disrespecting a woman of that age like that, at this stage of her life, she shouldn't, like, no one needs to be hearing this type of nonsense, especially from a, you know, they gave the defense to this guy. It's like, oh, he's been to the Caribbean, he's been to Malaysia, he's been to that and the other, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh god, yeah, we all got black mates, mate. Even black people got black mates. You know what I mean? Like, so what? You know, you came out and said what you said, and I always wonder with social media, okay, so this was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago that this was said, and now it's come up. There's that side of me that kind of just, I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, why is this coming up now? Because if this was said yesterday, I'd be super angry. And I'm not a fan of Diane Abbott. I'm not. But at the same time, she's my elder. And saying stuff like that, I will punch you in your head. I'll just leave it there.
I think one thing we can always do is maybe draw case studies of concepts where someone doesn't like a black person, and then they blanket the entire black people with that behavior, and then threaten to kill. There was the famous actor who something Nielsen, I think Liam Nielsen. We covered his story a few years back, where allegedly one of his
he says
one of his friends in Ireland was allegedly assaulted by a black person, and he said he just got a kosh and he was walking down the street to beat up any black person he saw. He just wanted to beat up black people. So this kind of like how alleged crimes are things that people don't like can be spread across the entire of black people. And this is, once again, he had his arm with a weapon to attack black people. This man was talking about shooting this woman and how he doesn't like black women because of this woman. So this is something we should be very aware of, that many enemies of black people
hate all black women.
Yeah, there's hate everything. Yeah, it's regardless of what happened, it's the entire group. You see, when something goes wrong, the entire group is to blame, and the entire group is worthy of pain. So this is something just to remind. Welcome to Betterment Broadcast, everyone. Feel free to jump in. We're joined by Brother Razor and Sister Empress Kush. We're tackling the two topics of, let me show you, UK Black Hate. We discuss racist comments towards Diane Abbott and ask who should protect black women in UK politics. And men reform men and women reform women. We discuss trauma controlling tactics to reform the black community. And we were mentioning that when it comes to inward challenges, maybe we should gender it. And we have men try to coach men and women coach women as one of the strategies.
I wonder if you can see, not sure if it's a brother or sister, but Kongu Maytu's comments. Sorry if I murdered your name, family, but it said engaging in formal politics is futile if you don't have an organized relatively populous group of people behind you, when one engages in formal politics without an organised block behind them, they will be taken advantage of. If you willingly play the game without doing your due diligence, you can't complain when you realise the game is rigged. They have the right to expect her to shut up and accept it. They have the power. If we don't have the wherewithal to effectively combat it, what's the purpose of complaining? I hear what he's saying initially, because I was feeling like, when I was looking at this, I was thinking to myself, wow, like 40 years, 40 years in Labour, and you're the first black female.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. It's a long time to be alone as well. Do you know what I mean? And I just think, she clearly has this kind of kumbaya belief for her to put. She believes in the Labour Party, right?
Yeah.
It has to be 40 years. And I think she believes in Hackney. She's got love for Hackney, because that's been, like, for some of us, she's been there since all our lives. So she believes in the people, and those times when she was there, Hackney was us. It was black people. It's very much us in her heyday. And she has said some stuff on behalf of black people. She's the reason why people are so quick. I mean, I've actually seen a panel where they've read out the statement that she said, and he said, this racist donor said, and everyone start laughing. I've seen it in other, like, GBN, the racist kind of channels, where they're just literally torn in, and they can't even do that little segment that they give to her, probably 3 minutes, with a straight face. There's always a dig at her. Oh, she's a loud mouth. I've heard the most about her looks, everything about. Oh, I don't like what she says, how she says it, everything but, every diversion but what has happened. Like, so, and obviously, like, the statistic that I've said, and I'll keep saying it, that she is the most abused MP, out of all MPs, by a long margin. There's over, like, 200 MPs, right? And I do think to myself, like, 40 years, like, she had to believe in it. And at some point, I wonder, does she just think she has to be disenfranchised? Like, she's currently suspended by this party as well, right? Labour. So they suspended her for a comment that I don't think was worthy to suspending her on in the first place anyways. And after 40 years, this is how you've been treated. You've seen the Windrush scandal as well. And I just kind of wonder, does she just sit back and think, like what the family member said, I was disenfranchised. Like, I believed in this kumbaya, and it's not working. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do get that. And normally, I have that for the younger generation, from my age and younger. I don't have the kind of same kinds of understanding that I do for someone like Diana, because of the time that she was raised in, her position that she managed to put herself in, and she might have been disenfranchised, right? So I believe in that. If you're going to fall for this system and stuff like that, you're going to get bitten sooner or later, and it's just another what did you expect kind of moment. I get that, but with Diana, it's just it just holds. It's just a bit different because of the generation for me. If it needs to be discussed further, if someone wants to question me on it, I can delve deeper, but I don't want to long-wind it out. So I'm just kind of saying that. But on the part of where he says is the point of not complaining, I think this is the catch-22. A man could come out of our community and say, okay, this woman, this 70-year-old black woman, our first ever black MP for the country, right? Because this is supposed to be, quotes unquote, all of our country. She's supposed to be someone everyone's proud of, right? She's the MP of everyone in Hackney, right? So her getting told that she should be shot, and it makes him hate all black women. Like people said over and over again, replace Diane Abbott with the word Jewish woman. Let it be a Palestinian march and someone holds up a sign saying anyone's name should be shot. The conversation would be a lot louder right now, and it'd be questioning if they should be complaining or talking up about it.
This is a very good point. Very good point.
When it comes to us, I think she is definitely our business at the moment. Right now, while it's happening and it's out right now, she's definitely something that, as Black people who care about Black people and unity and having a strong hold, regardless of what we think about her, when you talk out your mouth, be on code. If you're not going to do anything else, you're not going to go to the march, if you're not going to support her, if you're not going to call up, if you're not going to do anything, at least when you speak, the first kind of things that come out your mouth is not about how she looks, not what she said to offend you last week, not about anything else, but Black women, I'm not, as a Black person, as a Black woman, as a Black man, I don't think it's right to be saying that a 70-year-old woman should be shot. And it makes them hate all Black women. I've got Black women in my family. End of. So that's the way I see it.
Welcome, Brother Musa, to the Betterment Broadcast. Welcome back.
What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody?
We're good, thank you.
Brother Musa.
So before you jump in, no, I know you jump in, Musa.
What's going on?
You wanted to comment, bro? You might.
Yeah, I did. You know, I was like, it's gonna be on the strength of what Empress Kush said. Yeah, it's gonna be a long day for Black Britain, because we're so invested, we're so assimilated, integrated into the whole illusion of
inclusion
of inclusion that we don't have. I promise you, this thing psychologically and the psychological, emotional, spiritual, and physical bamboozlement is going to take 100 years to 1,000 years to fix. I promise you, even after this event that's taken place with Diane Abbott, if you was to go, I swear to God, and went out with a microphone and into the streets of London, in the streets of Birmingham, and did a survey, they're gonna say, well, it's a mistake, it was an incident, but we need to get past it. You're gonna see every kind of Black man and Black woman making every kind of excuse. It's a mishap, it's an error, it's a slip of the tongue. He didn't mean it. They're gonna look for every single way around it. What we need to do is overcome, get over it. Is what I'm saying to you, which is not the kind of strength of voice that the Jewish community has. If you insult or disrespect them, it's not the strength of voice that the Middle Eastern people, Arabs, Iranians, Turks have. The Muslim peoples have when you disrespect them. They've got more of resistance. They've got more of a talk. They're more clannish, tribalistic in their behavior. But Black, this could be front page news. Diane Abbott, every Black footballer is quiet. Every Black presenter is quiet.
Well, I was gonna say the silence is deafening, bro. I was thinking that, so thank you.
Every kind of Black, like Black British grime artists, hip hop artists, 99% of them is quiet. You know what? You're overreacting. You're taking it out of context. This, that, and the third. He's looking for every kind of maneuver to get around the problem. But when it's something else relating to, I don't know, anti-Semitism, the Jewish people got chat. British Jews have got chat all in unison. The Muslim people have got chat and they're all in unison. When it comes to Black, they're looking for every kind of exit. You know, like, there used to be this TV series, yeah. They used to come in the morning, like midday, just before midday, called Meerkat Manor. And you know, like, did anybody used to watch it? TV series called Meerkat.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to watch Meerkat. I used to watch the TV series called Is it Meerkat Manor or Meerkat House? I don't know which one, but it's about meerkats in it. And you know, like when the enemy is coming in to attack the meerkat, like the bird or something, the meerkats, they scarper. They go into their burrows and they duck. This one goes into the under, that one dive. They all die, they scarper, but they all in unison. They do everything like they think like a tribe, like a clique. Like, and the tribal meerkat leader is on alert. And whatever the tribal leader is doing, they all look and they say, the body language, the face expression, they give the signal, and every meerkat and it's like, until a group of people learn to behave like a tribal, like a group of meerkat when they're under siege, under attack. But first you got to perceive that you're under attack. The man driving the TT with a gold teeth in his mouth, he doesn't think it applies to him. He says, yeah, that's Diane Abbott. She's all the way over there. I'm from Peckham. It doesn't affect me. The man in Birmingham City, he's driving his BMW. He says, yeah, but that's all the way over there. It doesn't affect me. He's just driving, he's listening to his drill music. He's looking at you like, what are you talking about? What's that having to do with me? Like, look, they're just attacking the black woman. He's gonna look into the sky and say, I don't know what you're talking about. You see what I'm trying to say to you? The disconnect is real. The disconnect is visible. The disconnect is prevalent. They're not going to connect the dots in any way, shape, or form. It happened over there, this, that, and the third. Maybe you're reading it wrong. You're taking it out of context. You're overreacting. Here you go again. Why do you have to be so racial? You're very opinionated. You're too passionate.
I'm telling you, boy.
every single maneuver to escape what you're trying to present to them. It's conspiracy theory. When they see you coming, they're gonna roll their eyes. Here we go again. Oh, here we go again. That one's on his way. They're gonna give you that look. They're gonna nudge their friend and give him that look. Like, here we go again. Here this guy comes with his conspiracy theory. He starts shaking his head. So you're overreacting. You're always gonna get, because the black is so far gone psychologically to the point now he's in denial. You really got to look at the movie The Matrix, the first one, and everybody that's in the Matrix can't see. Anybody that's outside the Matrix can see what's going. The Neo, this one, that one, Trinity. So look, the Matrix, they're all in there. And you can't unplug somebody that doesn't want to be unplugged. If you unplug them, you can kill them. It's that real. That's how much they're embedded in the system. You cannot unplug somebody by force because they can commit suicide. As far as they're concerned, those people like me, you, Rat Raven, Empress Kush, we're off our trolley. We've been taking too many drugs.
The thing is so true, because even now, people see what happened now and still tell you Black Betterment is nonsense. Black Betterment.
They say no.
Black people get together.
They say no. They're gonna say no. No. But look, he just said, like, black woman needs to get shot. She will find a way to go around. Around somehow, she's gonna talk her way out of that conversation. Around. No. It don't matter. You think you've got them against the wall. She's gonna duck and escape whatever kind of maneuver you've come to put on them. No. That's all they're gonna escape. Not having.
Sister She Range, welcome to Black Betterment with Sister She Range joining the panel.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings, everybody. Yeah, good appreciation, Raven, for putting this show on. Much appreciation. You know, it's paramount. But I just think we just need, it's just down to education, man. And because all the brothers said right now is so true. And even the Matrix analogy that you gave, it's like, yeah, take people out of the Matrix, or expose the Matrix to them, and then they just go crazy, or they will die. And I was looking at a YouTube. Oh God, I'm dead.
Nope, that's why is it. Oh, your phone might ring.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, when he said the unplug and they'll die, that got me as well, because all I was thinking of is when we talk about black people to certain man and they lose their minds. So it's a real life thing. Like, they have to believe in this illusion. And this is what I'm saying with Diane Abbott, 40 years. Yeah. Like, you have to believe now, like, you're too far in. Do you know what I mean? Just like the guy with the kids, and the kids already now looking at the next ones outside the fold, and the writings on the wall. Like, you're too far in for you to tell me now that actually do you know what I mean? Like, the good news is I went a long way. The bad news is I went the wrong way. You know that quote? Like, it's literally realizing, damn.
Good quote.
So it's so true.
Man. I found this. I found a video where it says,
I managed to find a quote as well when you're ready, bro. That she said, which got her suspended.
Yeah. Could you say that? Because I've got it says Labour suggests Jews not subject to the same racism as black people. I don't know if that's what it was.
Yeah,
but
go for it.
Let me play it and then we'll see if it's connected. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see what's thinking in sync. You see what happens, bro?
There you go.
Can I interject slightly, please, if you don't mind?
Let's play the video, then afterwards we'll jump in.
In the history of the Labour Party.
Just 2 months ago, the Labour leader announcing the party finally out of special measures over anti-Semitism by the Equalities Watchdog.
It's meant rebuilding trust, not just with the Jewish community, but with all those who were rightly appalled by the culture of the party under the previous leadership.
Plunged back into that discussion, Diane Abbott today, suspended from Labour pending an investigation over a letter she wrote, stating, "It is true that many types of white people with points of difference, such as redheads, can experience this prejudice, but they are not all their lives subjected to racism. In pre-civil rights America, Irish people, Jewish people, and travellers were not required to sit at the back of the bus. In apartheid South Africa, these groups were allowed to vote. And at the height of slavery, there was no white-seeming people manacled on slave ships." It was a response to an opinion piece questioning the view that racism only affects people of colour. She later apologised, saying it was only an initial draft and that letter should never have been sent, but also that there is no excuse and I wish to apologise for any anguish caused.
It creates this hierarchy of hate. It pits one minoritized ethnic community against the other. Racism, prejudice, it tries to suggest that anti-Semitism and discrimination, particularly against Gypsies, travellers and Roma, who she managed to single out as well, was somehow a lesser kind of discrimination.
Anger too from Labour MPs, a number reaching out to Keir Starmer personally today. Under new party rules voted on last conference, once an MP is under investigation, the party whip is suspended as an automatic precaution.
It's regretful, given her record of fighting racism, but it's absolutely the right thing to do. Suspend the whip, have a full investigation into it, and then make a judgment. It's what's happened with other MPs that we've seen in the recent past, and it's why this should be happening with Diane.
Does it say Diane Julie Abbott has been duly...
As Britain's first black female MP, Diane Abbott said she got into politics to be the voice of the voiceless and that promoting racial justice throughout her almost 36 years in Parliament has been her focus. Her close allyship with Jeremy Corbyn as leader of the party is one reason friends say she is being watched closely by the leadership.
These things happen, and Diane really knows a lot about racism. She has been the most abused, racially abused person in Parliament for many, many years. This is absolutely not what she said, is really not what she means.
An investigation will now decide whether the whip should be reinstated or whether she, like the former Labour leader, has a future outside the party.
Okay, so let me. So
what year was that?
This was 10 months ago.
So she's been suspended for 10 months. They've still not reviewed it, right? Yeah. You're supposed to get a review. They just left her. I want the family to realise that over what she said.
Hold on. So what she said, she was saying that black people experience a unique type of racism that people of European descent don't go through, and she was trying to make that clear. And for that statement, she was okay. And this other individual who's talking about shooting black women, this is not a problem. No? This is
exactly.
This is okay. We have to put this up. So the irony is overwhelming.
Exactly.
and look at the Jewish individual here who's saying, "Oh, I assume he's Jewish." What did he say?
Caution.
It's regretful, given her record of fighting racism, but it's absolutely the right thing to do. Suspend the whip, have a full investigation into it, and then make a judgment. It's what's happened with other MPs that we've seen in the recent past, and it's right that it should be happening with Diane.
So there's no question that this draft that she's apologized for, and I'm not too sure what she's apologizing for. She seemed to say very truthful statements, right? About. I mean, she gave a case analysis about how
the motion is anti-Jewish.
Yes, this is where So this is the thing where the Jewish community seem to bend between the European, the white skinned, and other kind of thing. I think race-based discrimination, we can clearly see there's certain people who can blend into society much more easier. So, but black people don't seem to have that kind of access, right? Well, it's not a shock. But what I'm saying is this is a good case study to push forward and to obviously promote Black Bearman. It's like collectively you have no friends. This is the clear testament. This is it. Do
you know what's funny to me though is that when I hear black people carry on the same kinds of narrative about her and how she's a big mouth and how she's loud and everything else. Wow. And these obviously originated from white people because she was the only black person in Parliament, right? And you kind of think, what made them people say that about her? It's clearly she's got a history of talking up for who? Us, as a solo entity in Parliament. And I think that's why typically, and anyone, we know British society, we've been around them, we know that that's typically what's, she's got a big, why don't she shut up? She's got a big mouth. And she's championing, again, I'll say, for us. 40 years later of service, what she believes is service for us, and now black people are saying the same thing about her, not knowing that it originally stemmed from her fighting for us, having the strength to speak out. Probably a sea of white men then in suits and talking about serious racial issues. And if you watch some of her speeches and times that she stood up, she was raggo with it. And we've allowed the narrative of her to be this big mouthed whatever to run with because we don't talk. Of course, we've let somebody else talk about our heroes. Well, I'm not saying she's necessarily a hero, but she is someone of a stature that we should respect for what she's done and the time she's put in. She doesn't deserve to be spoken about how she's been spoken about. And so, yeah.
She's really, so I've got to highlight, it's true that many types of white people with no points of difference, such as redheads, can experience this prejudice, but they are not all their lives subject to racism. In pre-civil rights America, Irish people, Jewish people, and travelers were not required to sit at the back of the bus. In apartheid South Africa, these groups were allowed to vote. At the height of slavery, there were no white seeming people manacled on the slave ships, right? This is a true statement. This is not this is what she's suspended for. This is the truth.
She's been 10 months,
wow.
No investigation.
Wow.
So when the blow up probably between yesterday, because the donor has tried to phone her twice. She's ignored the calls. She's refused to answer. She's not going to let him get away with her. Oh, we've had a word, right? And this is the thing. Even I can imagine what she's going through as a 70-year-old woman in her home right now. She's still playing smart tactics, you know. So then Keir Starmer finally comes out. Finally, he doesn't say it initially. Remember I said that. So he finally does it day 2-ish, right? Because they can see it's brooding. He says, all right, it's not great. It's racism. In the comments, what Brother Raven showed of when she had to stand up over 40 times to see if she could speak and they rejected her. He tried to talk to Stammer, whatever, the Labour leader. He tried to have a word with her. and she didn't want to hear it. She apparently, what was said was that he tried to say, like, you know, can I talk to you? And she was like, can we talk about me getting reinstated? Right? And he's like, well, you know, I can't talk about, well, I want to talk about getting reinstated. It's been 10 months. This is recent, you know, please, family, look into this. Right? And he says, and he didn't want to talk about it. He wants an independent investigation. And he said that until that happens, you know, I don't think that we should go down that route. These times we've got a donor who donated, the count is at 10 mil, but yesterday they said that now it's been revealed that there was even more of 10 million that this man is given to Conservative Party. And one of the things that they've asked is for it to be given back. Or now we've not heard, not the Labour leader, Conservative leader say that they're going to give that money back. And for the 10,000, for the 10 million that the donor gave, the Conservative government gave him over 100 million contract, 100 million worth of contracts, because he's in sort of pharmaceutical. This is like, you know, the game is like, now we're seeing how this goes, right?
Of course.
So recently, I think yesterday in question time, they've done exactly, bro. So they did, I think Conservative did a brand new terminology for extremism. I don't know if anyone's seen that recently. And on question time, they were trying to question why are we doing this? Why are we reinventing the terminology of what extremism is? We know what it is. We know it's a problem. But someone so cleverly said, you've got a government who's so desperate to push that they're for the people, even though at this point no one believes them, like not even mainstream, white, whatever. Everyone can see that they're rotten. And you have the cheek to bring out something about extremism, but yet when they were directly asking the man on the panel who represented Conservative Party is saying that a woman should be shot and it makes you hate a whole race, extremism, he couldn't answer it. So you've got a government right now who's dealing with extremism, and then when they're faced with it, when your donor of over 10 million pounds is demonstrating it, you can't call it out, you can't give the money back, you can't even acknowledge it. So it's very interesting politics that's happening right now, family. It's happening in our face, and they're directly using us to let it happen. So yes, I agree when Raven says that our emotions shouldn't come into it, but a certain anger kind of drives you to start digging deeper, or at least start looking around right now. And like what one of the brothers says, it's just in our face right now. So definitely I'd look into question time. It's like the first 10-15 minutes of question time. That's on BBC One. And I'd definitely check out some clips of the Common as well, because that was very interesting, because the Prime Minister was there. And you get to see also the fact that you just see the image of her just getting up over 40 times and just getting rejected. It's not a good look. So yeah.
Wow. There's a lot the process, but yes, like sister says, we expect this kind of stuff. You don't get angry, you use it to stay focused, and as case studies and branding to get more people synchronized with Black Betterment. You know, I think one thing we can look at is if the speed of the Jewish community to try to get her removed, that shows organization. So even though what she did was read out historical facts and she was removed, while this other individual was talking about hating a whole group of people based upon one's actions and then shooting that one individual who's a Black woman, and yet there seems to be not as speed. The speed seems to be very different of any kind of consequence, right? So that shows you obviously who has higher favor, but also who's more organized. I think that's the way to look at it. Like, organization matters. This is very important. I think collectively we have no friends. This is a very important double dilemma, you see.
I think as well it kind of shows that why Black Betterment is necessary, because the Jewish Black Betterment version would have been the Anti-Defamation League.
Yes.
And right now, that Hester or whatever guy, Hester, whatever his name is, would have to have done an apology tour, would have had to have gone to a couple of history lessons in regards to what Black women have had to have gone through.
Yes.
See that 10 million that you've got to donate to a Conservative Party and the over 100 million that you got back in contracts, we're going to have to need some of that.
Yeah.
You're going to need to donate to some businesses of Black women.
Yes.
How about helping some single mothers as well? You know, like all the little stereotypes, everything that's what the Anti-Defamation League would have done and have done. Ask Nick Cannon, with his apology tour, they only just stopped. This is the route. Like, there's a constant pattern. We don't have anything like that. If we had something set in stone with a set of people that we knew for us, who said that every time this kind of thing happened, we'd be in a better position. A lot better position, because I 100% believe that the Anti-Defamation League is probably between 25 to 50% of the revenue of Israel, like of Jewish community. Do you understand? Because the amount of times that because people think that, when you say something on Jewish, you just get cancelled. No, you go on a tour. Look at the people that consecutively said something. They go on an apology tour. They have to go to the museum to go and see the history of what the Jewish people go through, and they pay a hefty fee. They call it a charity.
They've done that to a couple people, haven't they? Could we name some of them? Nick Cannon's one. Who else?
There's anyone who's had anything to do with an issue with Jewish.
Kanye
this is how
West.
confident I am. I don't even
Kanye
know.
West. Okay, Kanye West.
Kanye West had
West
to do
too.
it. Yeah. Anyone had the
who else?
issue with them. Wiley got cancelled, but I don't know if he had.
Wiley got cancelled.
This is just
they
what
did.
we
They
know,
did. They did it. Listen, they did it. They did it to Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, she had to do the tour.
She had to. They said, the Whoopi Goldberg.
Paid.
Yeah, there's a list of them blacks that stepped out of line with the Jew, or the Jew felt that it was anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
and the Jewish people came. Jewish people came down on them.
It's millions that they pay behind it. I'm telling you, this is one of their smartest moves, and it gets funneled.
Can I say something really quickly, please?
Go true.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Go true.
Can I say? Why is it, when we speak about those who identify as we see as the Jews, we're not calling them out, to be honest, for being white people?
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
Because the European Jews very cleverly, like identity is an extension. It's who you are, who you identify as, an extension of how you promote yourself or introduce yourself to the world. And what European Jews did is that they cornered this identity like a market, like a business. And they said, you know what? We're going to use this Jewish thing as a brand. Is that what I'm trying to say? We're not the original Jews. Whether the Jews even actually existed is still debatable, isn't it? It's the Bible, isn't it? It's not a factual book. But by utilizing that book and expressing themselves through that book, they have now cultivated an identity to say, we are Jewish, and it's our brand. And then they built a circle around it and went around the world and said, I'm Jew, I'm a Jew, I'm a Jew. And anybody that's against them is anti-Semitic. And so it's a way of defending themselves against the outsiders. And they've done it very, very well to the degree now that they've kind of specialized in this Jewish identity thing, that now that it's hard for you to now look at them as white people, because when white people look at them, they see Jew. They don't see white people. Does that make sense?
This is where I was kind of getting to, because I always thought to myself, well, these are the people who are, and before I understand the idea of the Khazarians and so on and so forth, I know these people being the Sephardics and the Latinos and so on and so forth. And
Yeah,
these people
yes.
from Eastern Europe and Southern Europe. And so, okay, but these are still what I see is white people. When I see Netanyahu, I see a white man. I don't see, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I'm going somewhere with this. So, in regards to our people, you know, there's always a conflict there, because even in the state of Israel, of what they did to the African women in regards to sterilization and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
I
the
take
flasher.
that, and then I see what happens in America, especially, and I'm like, yo, fam, like there seems to be this weird intersectionality between us and them. But then I say to myself, well, then they're not anyone different. They're still like Europeans. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just happen to wear a yarmulke. That's about it. You know?
Yeah, but it's
I don't understand why people treat them as separate.
You see brand, you see branding, you see marketing.
Yeah,
it's a very, and Raven could back me up on this. It's marketing, branding, marketing, and advertising is very misunderstood. You know, it's very misunderstood. It's a very misunderstood, overlooked science. People they hear the word, they think they know what it means, but they don't know what it means. It's a very misunderstood science. You see what I'm trying to say to you? Jewishness is branded and promoted and advertised in a way that Ashanti people as an ethnic group don't even come close. You can mention the name Ashanti in some parts of the world, they don't even know who you're talking about. Who? They don't never heard of them. Yeah. You can say Jew, everybody's you can say Jewish, everybody's heard about it. You see what I'm trying to say to you? And that's down to marketing. That's down to advertising. That's down to branding. You can mention the name Zulu. Some people heard about it. Some people never heard of it. Never heard of him. What are you talking about? Nah. You lost me, mate.
This is cracking me up.
Yeah, you lost me, mate. Never heard of no Zulu, mate. You can say Jewish. Everybody's heard of the Jew. Everybody heard of Jewish. It's very, very cleverly done. There's no difference between the Zulu people and their story and the Israelite people and their story. It's just that one knows how to market and advertise better than the other. You mention the name. You can mention the tribe, the Kikiyu. Kikiyu what?
Money.
You say Kikiyu? You say what is that? What is a Kikiyu? Is that an animal? No, it's a tribe in East Africa. Nah. Never heard of that. I thought you said Yahoo. Yahoo. You talking about an internet site? Nah, you're gonna look at you. They're gonna shake their head. Never heard of them, mate. Kikiyu. What's that? Some kind of fluff, like bubbly. Is that some type of fluffy toy you can get in Toys R Us? Never heard of a Kikiyu, mate. They're gonna be looking at you, just shaking their head. No, the Kikiyu. They don't know what you're talking about. But you can mention the name Jew. You can mention the name Jew, and it has their strength behind it. It's something of deep importance to Jewish people. We need to address the Holocaust. Like, wow, everybody heard of the Jew. You see what I'm trying to say to you? That's done by very, very, very careful marketing, advertising, branding, and people are being aligned to that energy. And there's strength in there. Anything you put your money into and your faith into, there's a strength there. And the black groups, they don't do that with their ethnic group. They don't make Ashanti a worldwide name. They overlook it and ignore it and sweep it under the carpet. Now you see someone who says he's an African American. You see someone there, he's a Jamaican. They see someone there, he's a Trinidadian. You see someone there, he's Afro-Brazilian. They don't say that's the Ashanti Brazilian man. They don't say there's that Yoruba Guyanese man. They say, hey, he's Guyanese. He's black Guyanese. Because that's not the same as being Jewish, is it? Your energy is not the same, is it? You can be anywhere in the world. If you say you're Jew, heads are gonna turn. The Jewish people. You touch one Jew, that front page paper says an anti-Semitic attack. You touch a black man, it's black on black violence. There's a hate crime but it's not anti-Semitic, is it? You see the difference in the way it's going to be recorded in the media. Yeah, in the media, it's going down as an anti-Semitic. Right. That person was attacked because he was Jewish. That's an anti-Semitic attack. If someone attacks one of me or you, it's either black on black violence or it's a hate crime. But it's not anti-Semitic though, is it?
Yeah.
No.
You see the difference.
If a black Jew attacking a non-Jew, you still look at black and black. Yeah.
So how should this be framed then? So is this like anti-black?
Yeah, there's already a thing for that. It's what is it? Afrophobia or Negrophobia. Do you understand? I do feel that like what the brother said is true. Like technically, what they're complaining should fall under the banner of racism, of how they want it applied. But because they're Jewish, they get to have their own specific anti-Semitic, and I think black people would do good with having a specific, because this
said, Kush.
Yeah, because thank you, bro. Because this is the reason why Diane Abbott got suspended, because she's making the difference.
That's right. That's right.
So
Kush, we need you see Afrophobia, Negrophobia.
Yeah.
It's not strong enough as a term. It needs to be stronger. It needs to be stronger. It's too watered down. It's too weak.
Mate,
what is Afrophobia, Negrophobia? Bro, that's weak.
If you understand the type of racists that have that against our people, bro, oh my god.
Yeah, you need to be something. You need to be like, you see, we talk about Kemet. It needs to be anti-Kemeticism. This type of anti-Kemeticism has to stop. You have to be something strong like that. Anti-Kemetic.
Hold on.
Anti-Kemeticism.
You might be onto something there, as in maybe rebranding. This might be an exercise we should do. Maybe we should come back next week.
Yeah.
2 weeks, come back. What term could we push forward that within the description of it makes someone understand this is something that someone should not be doing, and people be it. This could be an exercise for people. So those who are listening, we're thinking of what term could we be used to bring forward that could represent the hatred towards black people and something that people should fear doing, because in the name itself.
Well said.
So this is now we have homework, right? So those who are listening, everyone go home, think of something. Next week we'll come back and this might be next week's topic. Well done, fam. This is how the Black Betterment Broadcast works. It's case studies, pricking each other's minds and thinking what ideas can work for black people's collective best interest. What could we do? And that might be a very good idea. That term,
because,
what term to use.
And I think it will be really effective in regards to organizing protection from ourselves in regards to law. So when things like that's how anti-Semitism is as well. It's engraved.
Well said.
So when something directly happens to us, now you've caused an offense, because at any given, replace that with any other community, that should have been done for hate speech. At least. I don't understand why it's done for hate speech. Like, I don't know what's going on with the people around her. That's the first thing I would have told her to go in there for. And he's a multi-millionaire. Go in. Right? He's just publicly said he wants you shot and to hate all black women. And this man still has got no charges for hate speech. But had we have something like, something, a better name, but something like Afrophobia, then we can say
anti-Kemeticism.
Yeah, exactly. Or the black version, we could say this is directly that term, and therefore it's against the law, and now prosecution and everything else that needs to come underneath that. So it's so important to do that, and this is in regards to safeguarding us. So these things are so important, because then she wouldn't be suspended for differentiating the difference between what goes on with black people and what happens with other ethnicities or communities. But because there's not a phrase out there, because we haven't acknowledged it, because we haven't put it on concrete and told people what it is, they can get away with now calling her anti-Jewish for saying that we ain't the same.
You know what's so interesting, just to add to what you're saying, Kush?
Go ahead.
I was warned.
God
I
bless
was
you.
warned, I was warned, and anybody who knows who I'm about to say, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she warned about there's a time, because she saw the pattern of where blacks were going in America. And she said there's a time in the direction that black people are going in. They're so damaged psychologically. They're so fractured mentally. There's a time where you're going to see the generations that are going to follow. They won't know who they are. The man will wear a dress. He will say, tell you that he's somebody else. That's what Frances Cress Welsing said it before the blacks even started to exhibit this behavior.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said there's a time, the ISIS papers, there you go. There's a time that's coming where the black will be so fractured and so distraught in its mind. It will be like beast. Like you just look at them and think you don't even know what it is now. And again, she was talking, all her diagnosis, her research was leading, said the way it's going, the man won't know what he is, the woman won't know what it is. They'll just be in a state of confusion. The generation that will follow will be so out of sync. Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
She prophesied
it. She prophesied it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you know what?
Yeah, this is down to her own scientific research.
Exactly.
Remember, before there was Jordan Peterson, there was Frances Cress Welsing.
Yeah.
Definitely. And she was already on this. She was already on this psychiatric, clinical study and research. A lot of people don't know that before. Jordan Peterson, psychology is such a big field now. And but before Jordan Peterson, we had Frances Cress Welsing studying and doing all this research, investigative. What's his name? Neely Fuller. Neely Fuller is a person who influenced a lot of Frances Cress Welsing's thinking. Neely Fuller decided to put all of these psychological narratives, or what you call a psychological or pathology. You see, and psychosis. And so once the mind is fractured to the extent that it become the race of people now will produce a generation that will be so unsynchronized, so out of sync, so conflicted. It won't know what it is. Again, am I man, am I woman, or am I beast? You won't even be able to distinguish. That's the kind of era we're in now. All because that the research we haven't been able to implement, we haven't been able to control our schools. I mean, I used to listen to a lot of this stuff. I stopped listening to it. I went back into the matrix, but I remember what they used to say, like these type of social thinkers. There was a woman, there was a famous, she's passed now. There was a woman called Barbara Sizemore. African, she's a woman, she's a bit scholar in America. She's talking about all these things and what they're doing in the schools, how they're playing around with history. Basic history that happened in the last 100, 200 years is now being rewritten in the schools and the curriculum now. That the people, they don't even know what happened. Their brain can't even stretch back to civil rights. Talk less about going back to Africa. Their brain is being warped in a way that they can't recall basic history. That is not part of the curriculum again. Yeah, they're in they got them under some next mind control. They're looking at you like, no, that's in the past. What it is, and she's a brilliant woman, but she's bamboozled in many ways. Candice Owens. They're gonna get you to think like a Candice. You're gonna be. Candice is an intelligent woman, but she's a woman that has been. They found a way to kind of twist her intelligence that it's not supportive of who. It's not supportive of. Yes. She's not supportive of the people she comes from, but her intelligence is being used against the programming of her own people. So she knows something, but she chooses to overlook that thing in order to talk about, oh, black people, just get over it. And it's like, Candice, you can't do that. You can't do that, Candice. We haven't recovered from what they hit us with. We don't even know what we've been hit with. So you can't just say black people get over it. We're in a daze. They knocked the marbles and the common sense out of us. You can't just, Candice, you can't just say, oh, black people, click your fingers and just get back to work. You can't do that, Candice. You're dealing with a traumatized, psychologically, pathologically, psychosis, traumatized group of people that you can't just say to them, get back to work. We are going through, what's that lady that she came up with the term? Not PTSD, post-traumatic. She said post-traumatic slave disorder. She came up with another term. Yeah. We're going through. We've got that. That's what me and you have right now.
So
going on right now as we speak. We have PTSD and post-traumatic slave syndrome.
So family,
we've still got. Go on.
There we go. So on Wikipedia, we've got negrophobia, also themed term. Sorry, anti-blackness. It's characterized by the fear, hatred, discrimination, or extreme aversion to black people or Cape coloreds, and black culture worldwide. So the negrophobia is the equivalent, but we have to decide whether we want to use that or we can really push it to spell out more. But negrophobia and anti-blackness, these are the terms that are the equivalent of what other people have in their particular laws and stuff, right?
But this is what's so frustrating and lazy about our people. We have a terminology, whether we like the name or not, it's there. Yeah. This statement's just been done. Can someone make the correlation? Like, I don't want an apology. We don't want an apology at this point. Diana might not want an apology at this point, but remember, he offended all black women now. So what are we doing? Like this, I mean, there's no collective that's just out there for us. And I know it's hard in this country to be like that. I know it's hard in this country, which is wild because Americans have it. You got the NSCCPA. Sorry if I've murdered it. They've got, they've got their own little things that are set up directly for black people. But here it's just like, it is so wild how we don't have one little institutional, one thing that's like, right, this is so obvious. Let's make a hit. Let's show black people we're here. Where are
because everybody wants to have half-caste children and be integrated, mate.
Well
said. They just want to be like close proximity to whiteness. And unfortunately, I have to say that because I've seen it in my own lifetime as a 46-year-old man, soon to be 46-year-old man. That's it. Those who really, really feel the way that they feel. It's not about hating people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about us loving ourselves. And those who are against us and who love ourselves, they're the biggest Like, we ain't got time for that.
Let me jump in for a second. So I would say that at a certain point, certain people, there is no tide that's going to change certain directions, as we can see, right? So the real strategy is, how do the people who want betterment for black people, how do we organize, right? And how do we create the narratives and the branding that will change, a way of thinking? And I think one thing we want to get used to that concept, as in that right now, the anti-black branding has been there, right? So everyone subscribes to it. So now we're getting a smaller group of people, which we're calling the black innovators, yeah? And the idea is we are going to try to push forward these ideas that work in black people's collective best interests, yeah? I always say when it comes to the focus, we focus on constructive black man for constructive black woman, and we always focus on the man's choice. We don't focus on the offspring, we focus on the man's choice to who they pick. So we want to definitely highlight that concept, right? And also the focus is how to maximize good men for our women, because unfortunately we don't have as many good men as we'd like to, because there's so many people jumping here, there, and there, or going to jail, or not being educated, or whatever it might be, right? It's focusing on reform on that element. But all it takes is 2.5% of any community to become an innovator. So we are influencing those people there to push out the templates of black betterment. Now, once we get at 2.5 working in unison, you'll get the 22.5 influencers, those who will jump on board and promote what we're talking about in many different ways, whether it's TV, media, books, whatever it might be, right? The influencers, the personality people. Those personality people are key, because then that's who the imitators, the everyday black person, will just see these trendy concepts and bounce with it. And that's how innovation happens in all societies, in all mannerisms, right? So it's getting those 2.5% on code of what we're trying to push out. You see, and that's why Black Betterment is key, because we are promoting a lifestyle that has a solution baked in it, and trying to get the youth to understand this is key. So when we go on these platforms and people arguing, they say, okay, here's what it is, brothers. Is anyone want to work with Black people constructively? Come, we build. You bring them to this. This is the place they come. We come here to find solutions. So right now we're doing our homework. We found that we're looking at anti-Semitism as a technique to control the outcome of certain things. We understand that Black people have what they call Negrophobia, aka anti-Blackness, and I've also found Afrophobia, which is a similar thing. So let me put that link as well.
Raven, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, sister.
I want to ask you the question that I just asked. Because some would say America has it harder, right? Because I feel, sorry, I feel that they're quite overt.
Yeah.
The police have guns.
Yes.
You know, and I have to go into more. You understand where I'm coming from. And they're more extreme with their hatred and their racism.
Yes.
Yet they have organizations set up that if this happens in America with a multi-millionaire, right, at this point, you know how fast they'll be on it. Now, I know they say that Black guy, he's like an ambulance chaser. Every time there's a problem, he's there. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. The new one.
Al Sharpton.
Yeah, he's the old one. Yeah, but
no, there's a new one.
There's a new one, isn't it? There's he's the darker skinned brother.
No hair. Yeah.
Right. And I hear it. I get it. I get the do you know what I mean? I say it with a bit of but still, there's someone there. I'm asking you, in London, smaller than America, an island. I don't know, maybe it's just the numbers. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I just don't understand why we can't get it together. Like one organization. And I'm not just talking about for London or like, it's just at this point now, I don't know. To me, it's just like just looking at it optically and just taking my feelings out and then look at it strategically. This man said such a wild statement.
Well, see, Kush, you see the history of Black America is slavery and the plantation. So that's the very land they're standing on. Injustice took place on that very soil. Britain is a deeper illusion as far as it's able to rock Black British people to sleep.
So
the Black British man primarily talks about football and what his football team did yesterday or what his football team's going to do tomorrow, and his focus is elsewhere. He wants to talk about football, and the Black woman just wants to. A Black British woman, primarily, most of them just want to do their nails and chase materialism, Gucci, Versace, etc. So Britain was able to rock Black people to sleep in such a way and integrate them and assimilate them that they've got Black people watching EastEnders, X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. You see what I'm saying? Love Island. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So because they've got all these things, their attention is diverted. But America's got the history of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and people who spoke out and died and so forth. America even produced a Tupac Shakur.
We've had revolutionaries here, you know.
No, well, we have Britain's never produced no Martin Luther King. Britain's never produced no Malcolm X. Britain's never produced no Tupac Shakur. What Black British person has been on that scale?
Yeah. So let me jump in for a minute, family. Let me jump in. I would say this. I think Sister asked the original question. It's a very good question. I think the unfortunate advantage that people. I'm just going to mute for. I think there might be some speaking somewhere. Oh yeah, there you go. I think the advantage, the unfortunate advantage that brothers have in the States is because the racism is so overt. When I speak to Black African Americans, that when I talk about Black Betterment, there is no pushback. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. What a good idea. It's like, yeah, of course. Why would you not do that, right? I think because it's so covert in the UK, it works against us. Many Black people think that racism doesn't exist. It's in the clouds, right? And we're all integrated. And why do we need to talk about this kind of stuff? So that's the disadvantage we have by it being so covert. So there's the illusion of inclusion that someone said earlier, right? And it's only when we see these kind of things coming up now that we start realizing, this is what's really going on behind the scenes. So I think hopefully that answers your questions, Empress, as in like, there is advantages and disadvantages. But I think in the UK, we're going to find it harder to unite brothers and sisters because they just don't see it. And just like they adapt very quickly. And they also see themselves.
Yeah, but we do see it though, bro. But this is what my frustration is. They do see it. If you look in mainstream like media, like Shadeborough, right? So I'm saying that's pretty a mixed bag, majority us, yeah? So this is people who get it, people who are sellouts, people The general consensus is that's racist. White people are saying it's racist. So this whole, we don't see it. Black people know there's racism. Black men are 17 more times likely to be stopped by a police officer. Well, I can run up statistics. So we know it.
You see what Raven said, Empress, is because when you include someone, or the illusion of inclusion is so ingrained in the Black British psyche that it's either what you're talking about doesn't exist and it's a one-off mishap, mistake, error, and it's my football team's playing tomorrow and business as usual. He's not trying to put his foot down on the brake to say that, hold on, there's a problem here. He's too far gone in and embedded in inclusion for him to see what's going on beyond what his mind has been programmed with. He can see it, but he can't process it because his brain is rewired. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and maybe we need to like have this as a second part of the topic for next week, because what I'm posing to you, because you started going in deep, so I'm listening, but I want to ask another question, right? I hear you that he sees it, but so does the American. The American have had the same inclusion tactics put on them. So why? And you know what? It did make me think as well when you said that, they'll understand it's racism and then they'll go straight back into football. And I hear that. And you know what? So when you listen to Question Time, it's so painful. It's so powerful you said that, and painful at the same time. Because if you listen to the Question Time that happened yesterday, the first thing that the Conservative representative said was like, okay, well, this will pass in 6 months to 12 months when you find out that this same thing happened to another party leader. Like when white people are telling you, I know you're going to get over this. Yeah. So I'm going to give you what you want. Like I'm telling you, you should watch it. Like they were like laughing at him and everything. Like, but for me, it just hit home when the brother said like, yeah, they'll get over it. And I get that. And that's accurate. But my question I'm posing to you lot is, why is that the case here? But in America, it's not, I'll get over it. And I'm not saying that they don't have times, because I hear them say the same criticism, that we don't go in hard enough, that, give it a little while, they'll get over it. I think even didn't Trump offer to give them heads trainers? Like, I get it. All of that is still there as well. But again, they still have an institution. They still have this system. This is what a system is, this thing that ticks over. That no matter if people talking or whatever, there's that society, that systematic thing, that building, that thing is still there. Why not here?
Kush. Okay, watch this. Kush, watch this. Yeah, I want you to listen to this analysis very carefully.
Well,
America,
I mean, someone's saying that they don't. So maybe they could come on panel.
No. Watch this.
If Mel's
Black
there,
America, you see, Black America, yeah. Black America has Kunta Kinte. You see what I'm trying to say to you? If you provoke, attack, antagonize, racially abuse, police brutality, but in the deep consciousness, subconsciousness of the Black American psyche, yeah, he knows that there's Kunta Kinte living somewhere in his ancestry, innit? Even if he's walking around he's Michael, he's John, he's Philip. He knows that he's Kunta Kinte, and he's only Philip by force. Black Britain, there's Simon, there's Leroy, and you see Kunta. They found a way to delete. Kunta's been deleted. He could be full-blown African, you know, but you won't know that he's African because he's Anthony, like Anthony Joshua. Ojukwu and Wakanda, that person has been deleted in the Black British psyche. That person has been put to sleep. The spirit of Kunta doesn't exist in Britain. The spirit of Kunta exists in America.
Yeah, but my thing is why, bro? Like we both go through this similar tactics.
No, you can delete Kunta.
But the same Kunta
not even delete. Let's say you can put to sleep Kunta through very, very skillful programming. You can put Kunta to sleep, but Kunta's asleep in America.
Bro, there's someone.
But he's not.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Go ahead.
He's half asleep. Let's say Kunta is half asleep in America, but Kunta is fully asleep in Britain. Fully. He's like, have you ever had like such a like your week or your day was so active that you sleep when you went to bed, you just knocked out.
Yeah.
Bonked.
Yep.
Different. And then have you ever been to bed where you've half slept and then you've woke up today? You're not fully re-energized, but you half slept.
Yeah.
There's a different experience, different feeling between the half sleep and the full conk 12 hours gone, snoozing, triple C. It's a different experience. You know there's a different experience. The Negro that's in Britain is out, triple Z, gone.
Family, we're joined by a brother. I don't even brother. I'm not too sure, but is it?
It's Kamal. Pronounced Kamal. Yeah.
Welcome to the Betterment Broadcast.
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
I can't call it, but no, I just wanted to comment on the Black American. Of course, I don't even like using that term, but the dynamics. I mean, I guess from social media or what the news outlets, it looks like there's an organized system out here in America, but the same dynamics exist out here. The average Black person out here could care less about what's going on in the broader society. What they care about is the Knicks playing tomorrow, is the Bulls playing tomorrow, is the Cowboys playing tomorrow, who got shot, who's twerking, who's doing all the other stuff. It's not, don't nobody care no more. Like when you talking about Kunta Kinte, but especially with the youth, most black kids could not tell you really anything about that. Even the average youth out here couldn't tell you a movie it comes from or nothing. They might have heard the term before, but they can't tell you nothing about it. It's the dynamics. It might be a little better in certain places than others, but the dynamics are really the same real bad. So we don't really have no. When you see Al Sharpton, he's funded by the same small hats we talking about. He's not really part of any type of organization. He just used for pageantry. When anything happens, he goes on TV, I guess, to ease tension, I guess, but nobody behind his organization and organizing in a real way.
Yeah.
I was gonna say in response to what, there's a quick question. Does Louis Farrakhan's sermon speeches, does it still move Black American youth?
Most black people in America don't like. They don't care. Ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about what Farrakhan is talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like it's totally gone. People do not care. We are rampant materialists, and we love entertainment and we worship celebrities out here. Don't know, like the average person doesn't care. Yeah, you got some. There's a certain this dynamics in the UK, bro. You got a certain amount of people that care, but most people don't. You get and especially most black people. It's starting to look like most black people don't even want to identify with the problem.
Yeah, that sounds I hear that, and I think that's why we do this show locally and globally. And the idea is to establish the small percentage of people who want to make a change, come with a strategy. We call it 2.5% innovators, and then create the framework that influencers can take ideas, language, concepts, and spread it. So if Farrakhan or whoever it is was very effective in the 80s, but maybe not so much as now, then we have to either try to assist that kind of movement or form new ideas. But it never ends. It never ends. It's like we're always trying to reform, look at what's needed and do it. But what we want to get in the habit of is identifying the challenge and then having a strategy to correct it. You see, a solution. So
My thing is, like, even when you look at somebody like Farrakhan in the 90s, yeah, he could galvanize certain people, but after the speech is over, people gonna go right back doing to what they was doing before. So it's like a figurehead of talking is really only gonna do so much. At the end of the day, there's always the only people that's really gonna do something is a small group of people. In my opinion, until those people organize and separate from the greater society, it's gonna be futile to me. You wasting your time trying to incorporate people that are not about it inherently, because they're not. As soon as something changes a little bit or a semblance of change, it's going to be over for them. They're not going to care. So if you don't care organically, it's not going to be sustainable. In my opinion,
you got 19 keys. You got Rizza Islam. What about them?
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's not any real organization behind all that stuff. They're just figurehead celebrity type stuff, bro. It's not really nothing going on behind that. That's what I'm saying. Like you talking about people that can speak nice about issues and problems, but again, there's no foundation, there's no organization to help out these kids. These kids are still killing each other every day, especially where I'm from. It's nothing's changing. Everybody's out for themselves in a real way. Nobody's trying to make no sacrifice.
Can I just say, I just wanted to clarify that I don't really want it to get muddled, because a lot of what the brother what you were saying, especially when you the latter part of what you're saying, I 100% agree. I do think that it's going to be a small group of people, and I think once those small group of people stop trying to save the whole Black community and start focusing on those groups and start moving forward, the rest will follow as sheep. That's what I've been saying, and and the more I go on, the more I stand by it. The more I see, the more I stand by it. But in regards to you saying that, you know, the majority of Black society, they're just kind of docile to social media and things like that. That's definitely similar over here. And that's not what I was trying to say, that the general population are more conscious. So that's not what I was saying. I was talking about the things that we can pick from, because I was making a comparison, right? So you saying things like the NOI, you know, we've never had a force like the NOI, you know, and NSPCA. They might be generated by small hats, but we've not even had a real equivalent of that from Black people here. When the guy that I didn't know the name, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but the guy, the new one now that they call the ambulance chaser, who's always getting payments for people, we don't have an equivalent for that. There's not a person that you can go to who we know. That's the guy that we go to when we're getting messed up by some sort of government or something like that, and that's a lawyer to go to. We have nothing. Nada, bro. That's what I'm saying to you as a person living here. And what I'm saying is there is certain points on here where we're at what's currently happening now, that a donor to our current government has just said that all black women, she makes him hate all black women, and that this 70-year-old first black MP should be shot, and the man doesn't even have anything as he doesn't have to do nothing. They've called for nothing on him. He's not even done a full apology to the woman, yet alone been done for hate speech. I'm saying in America, someone would have jumped on that. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Ben Crump is the name.
Over here, it's dire.
Ben Crump is his name. Benjamin Crump.
No, I see what you're saying with that. My thing is with that, the people that is figureheads here, all you got to do to get them to stop doing is pay them more. That's it. So yeah, I can't do nothing but agree with what you're saying, because I ain't never been to the UK. But if that's the case, then yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's serious.
Now, family,
I was gonna say,
we have gone over. We do have a 2-hour show. It's been good. I would say, just to add to that, what as Brother Kel was saying, we need to create scenarios where we can pay. And I'm always giving you examples of the speakers who go to Speaker's Corner who didn't ever want to follow certain rules, but when YouTube starts saying you can't do certain things and you don't get paid, they follow the rules. So we understand that payment can make a person change, right? So maybe we can have ideas and create revenue that pays people, and this is a concept, by the way, to do the right thing for black people. But I think Brother Musa wants to jump in, but this will be the last comments from everyone. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say in response to what Empress Kush was saying, do we not have a Akala?
He's not an institution, though, is he?
He's a rapper.
Yeah, he's not an institution, and he's a very good brother. But I think he's not. I don't want to say but he's important in the sense of the history he brings. But I don't think he's an institution himself, and I don't think he directly stands for certain kinds of things. I think he's more of a teacher, a social teacher, which is important. But I wouldn't say he in himself is part of any institution for black people specifically. But I could be wrong.
May I ask one more question?
Go ahead.
What is like y'all dynamic breakdown in the UK? Like, what's the population percentage that y'all are compared to the other ethnicities?
Oh, I've got it written down here. I think
3 million blacks.
No, but not that. I'm saying like, but what would you say it was by percentage, like by your anecdotal experience?
It's between 3 and 5%. I think we're 3.
And does your everyday experience like reflect that by the black people you see?
It depends where you are.
Yeah.
So you can be in some parts of Britain where you'll never see it. They've never seen black people. They'll never see black people, like averagely. Yeah. You know, and that's the majority of the country. London's a city, so you'll probably see a mixture of all ethnicities in the cities, and that's only certain cities.
Is there any like majority black cities though?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's not even there's not even like majority black boroughs anymore, like black neighborhoods or or codes, area codes.
That's different. Then.
With too small populations.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
13% of black people are in London, make up London. So 30% of the London population are black, and in Birmingham it's 11%. They're the two biggest that I can see on my grid here, and it's the consensus in 2001 was 4.2% people are black. Now the reason why I've got this information here is because I was trying to work out how many people need to practice black betterment to make it a thing, right? And I think if England's population is 2,300,081, then we need 59,000 to practice some form of black betterment, and then we'll start seeing, which is quite a lot to us, but we'll see something, right? But to actually be what we call the innovator class in London, it only requires roughly anywhere from 600 to 3,000. So to come up with ideas and be on job and to try to influence the influencers, we only need roughly around about 600 to 3,000 in London, in England. Sorry, in England. That's what we're down there. I haven't presented this document yet, but I'm making it of how to change ideas. And I've even got an American one. America, it says that, and you will know better than me, it says that you have 12.4% of the population of America is black people. That means the innovated class would be 2.1%. And that means you will need roughly, it says 1%, that you need 12%. So 12,000. So 12,000 people on code is enough if they can influence the influencers to start that kind of critical mass change of mind. I need to really go through this document again. It's quite good to this. But yeah, I'll fix it another time. But yeah, but that's why we talk about the open door elite here, you see, as in this if you see on the screen. So we're establishing, within this group here, we're establishing that 2.5%, right? And then it's about influencing the influencers. And then that is so when you say separate from society, you could say that within this 25% is that concept of those tight-knit black people who are focused on black betterment, being around each other, doing activities together, and influencing the influencers to then create the 59% imitators who will just do what comes natural from seeing it. You see? Right now, black people, it comes natural to not be pro-black. It's a natural thing because they've been trained to do that. So we need to set the example to do that, and that's what Black Betterment is trying to do. But next week I might present this stuff in. It's quite technical what it's meant, but yeah, it's quite important though. But what will be good is what I'm trying to break down is in each city in London and America as well, and I think even Canada as well. I don't know. What is the percentage of black people and how many need to do constructive things on a public kind of space for it to have influence? And this is using the 3 Eyes of Innovation model. But yeah, but anyway, family, everyone, what's your last thoughts? Go ahead, give us your last thoughts.
I'll start. I'll just say that I want to give thanks for you doing this show, for us to talk about what happened with Diana. It was a great convo, good build, and it was really good build with the brothers on the panel as well. It's a shame we couldn't hear from Sister
God bless
Shireen.
you.
And thanks, bro. And the chat as well. I see we've had some new people as well from Offhead. I saw Foster, Delrich, Kongu, Maytu. It was really good having you. So make sure you come true again next week. Let's just keep building. So yeah, I just want to give thanks for a really good build. I know we've already suggested 2 topics, but one of the other topics I think, if we can squeeze it on for next week as well, is just looking at the tour that I was talking about, because I do think there is a pattern, and even though some people might not do every single pattern on the list, they do adhere to the pattern, and the whole point of it is not making them do it, it's the public display of punishment, obedience, and them getting finance from it as well. So I would like to add that as well, but I really would like to say thank you, because I know I was directing a lot of hard questions to the family, because this did make me frustrated. And when I do look overseas to our brothers and sisters, and I'm glad that the brother came in, and I agree with him. I hope he understands now that I agree with him. But there are certain elements where we are just slacking over here, like absolutely just slacking. So yeah, I just appreciate the builds and the brothers just working with me and just us feeling it out and stuff. So yeah, and to the chat as well.
Salute, sister.
I echo all them sentiments. It's refreshing to see tactical, disciplined conversations. I'm already subscribed, so I'll be back next week if I got 10.
Excellent.
I'd just like to say, obviously, big up to everybody on the panel. Appreciate the work that Raven's doing with the Black Betterment. I would also say it's good that we're still finding the way to converse about racial topics, black topics, because the voice is being drowned out by confusion and illusion. So the mere fact that we can find the strength to do it, because it's a lot to juggle such challenges when the groups of people's the numbers are dwindling by the hour, by the minute, by the second. So it's just like, yeah, I appreciate that the strength that we're showing.
I just want to say, God bless to the panel. Even Camus, Musa, Empress. I just enjoyed your input. Raven, I hope you understand like what you're doing is it's at the confines of those who are not prepared to speak truth to power, you know, and I think you're doing that. You've been doing that for a long time, and you know, I hope that you continue to do so, regardless. I'm going to be here next week, hopefully, as long as I don't fall asleep. And yeah. I hope everyone has a nice weekend. God bless. Take care, and speak to you soon.
Thank you, family. And I'll say that the Black Betterment Broadcast wouldn't be where it was without the contributors here. So all you brothers and sisters who jump on, the people who support in the comments or send news topics, we are part of the solution. Sometimes when we speak, we highlight the challenges that we're going through, but this is part of the process to analyze the challenges and strategically come together for solutions, which we are doing. And that's what's unique about this kind of format. And hopefully we're going to make this format the normal format, and we can influence the influencers to practice Black Betterment. But to everyone, we thank you, and check us next week for Black Betterment. Until then, Black Betterment, Black Betterment. See you, everyone.
Salute.